I hope you're having a great time of the day while you're watching this video um, that I've prepared for you. A lesson. We have our presentation about Unit 7, which is Sport for All. But first of all, I would like to say, well, I hope you're having a good time with your family and you're enjoying your quarantine holidays, and Happy Norris to all of you. And let's go. So, with most of the sixth graders, with some of them actually, we studied this page of Unit 7, but that would be a good revision for them as well. Um, and That's why I'm going to start, for now, I'm going to start with the first page of the student's book of Unit 7, which is page 68. And the unit is called Sport for All. And I'm going to start with this beautiful picture of Serena Williams playing tennis. All right, so why did I choose this picture specifically? Is because like Serena Williams, she's a woman, and the sport for all suggests that sport is not only for men, which we usually see on TV, but it's also for women, and there are lots of different popular sportsmen around there. So let's go on. I'm gonna play it just like that. So, um, what will you learn in this lesson? So, in this lesson, you will learn about sports vocabulary and how to make imperative sentences. You probably have already familiar. You probably already know what are imperative sentences, but you don't know that they are called imperative sentences. Okay, but let's go. Um, First of all, I would like to ask a couple of questions. Um, to continue with the topic, and the first question goes, which sports do you like and why? Now, don't forget about that the question has a why, so you should read the question carefully and try to think of the sport that you like and answer why you like the sport. I'm gonna give an example with my answer. So I like basketball, and why do I like the sport? I like basketball because it's interesting for me because it's more there's more action and there are more scores, unlike in football. And let's move on with the second question. What companies sponsor sports teams? Okay, let's see. If you don't know the word sponsor, I think you are familiar and you know it because sponsor in Russian is also sponsor, right? So um, I'm going to give an example of some sponsors of different companies and different maybe championships. The first one on the left you see here, right here is the EuroLeague basketball. Is the EuroLeague basketball is like NBA, but it's only in Europe. So and it's the sponsor is Turkish Airlines. You can see the logo here of the Turkish Airlines, and on the right, on the top corner, is Manchester United sponsored, which is Chevrolet, and Adidas. Two sponsors, but the main sponsor is Chevrolet. That's why it's very big. Um, Now they provide money for different games, and the Manchester United does advertisement for them. That's why. So when they play the sports, people can see this company and recognize, and everybody knows Chevrolet and Adidas because they're really popular and they are sponsors of many different sports. Now, again, at the bottom on the right, you can see Turkish Airlines logo on the court in EuroLeague basketball. All right, let's move on with now learning some sports vocabulary. I prepared some uh, different photos for you to recognize, to have a Pictionary, and to have an imagination with the word and association with the word. So, captain, our captain of the Manchester United team, Harry Maguire, and the next one, finalist. Now, when people learn finalist and champion, they often confuse these two. So, for example, in 2018 in Russia FIFA World Cup, France and Croatia were the finalists, but only France became the winner, and Croatia became the runner-up. They lost, and they became the losers, I can say. But yeah, they played really well as well. Mm. Supporter. Supporter, not supporter, as some students pronounce it. It's supporter, and these are the supporters of Manchester United, the Red Army. Yeah, not the BTS Army; it's the Red Army. It means it's the team of the Reds, the Manchester United team. Okay, and a TV reporter. I don't know who this young lady is, but she looks like a TV reporter to me. So I found this photo online, and so that you have a good association with this word, TV reporter. Manager is not the guy on the right; it's the guy on the left, and he is usually telling his team what to do on the field, and that's the manager of the club, and he is talking um, to the player of the team, one of the players of the team, Lukaku, and telling him, asking what to do. The forward, the former forward. Okay, that's a manager. And here you see Abramovich, who is the owner of Chelsea Football Club, and the owner means he's the boss. He's the one. He's the director of the club. He's the owner of the club, and he's the boss. And he's also a big fan um, of his team. And he's a very rich guy. And that's a very famous referee. I forgot his name. So referee is the person who controls the game. For instance, a football game, he controls if whether the football players are playing by the rules or not. Loser is a person who loses, not doesn't win. So I think to win you need to lose many times, and I'm not. I didn't put Cristiano Ronaldo as an example of a loser. I think Cristiano Ronaldo is a great, fantastic, and really talented player, and I believe to become a winner like him, you need to lose many times. And the final word, no, not the final word, or yes, it is the final word, which is trainer. Um, I think you need to have a good trainer, the guy on the left, to to reach to become a good athlete or a good sportsman. You need to have a good trainer. All right, and now let's move on with a little bit of grammar about imperatives. Now, imperatives can be positive and they can be negative. So here we have examples of positive imperatives. Now, the first one is buy the player. This is like football terminology when you buy, or sports terminology when you buy the player or sell the player. And ask him, it means ask him a question. And the third word is a very popular imperative that some of my students don't like when I ask them to do it. I tell them to clean the board. Sometimes some of them tell me to do it myself. Not to mention the names, but I'm going to give the name of 6G, for instance. So, all right, next one. Imperatives, negative. So the negative one is like don't buy the player. You add don't to at the before the verb to make it negative. So maybe you can think like, why don't we use doesn't? In the imperatives, we never use doesn't because we tell it to the person. We tell it to you or to a group of people, not to the third person. We tell it to the second person. All right, you like for one person or you for many persons. So don't buy the player, don't ask him, don't clean the board. All right, that's basically it about Unit 7, page 68. Sports for All it was. Now you've learned some of the sports vocabulary, and you have a good association, good pictures with them, and we talked about what sports do you like, and you can I think now you can speak very uh, confidently, surely in about the sports you like, and of course there is no lesson without a homework, and the final thing is going to be your homework. Your homework is going to be Unit 7 from Workbook on page 57. Yeah, if you have any questions, I think you can ask me. You can ask your students in the group. You have maybe your class WhatsApp group. You can ask them, and they will help you as well with the homework. But I think it's going to be easy. Page 57 is going to be easy. Well, thanks for your attention. Bye bye. Have a great time. See you next time.